Say hello to Emmy Award winner, Kate McKinnon.
It feels so wrong not to hug.
I know.
I feel I need to hug someone.
I know. I'm trying to respect. Brendan is a great hugger. He's a great. Just making out with the flowers. I like it. They are beautiful, though.
Ranunculus. It's a beautiful early spring flower. Yeah.
I love ranunculus. I love that you know that. We're going to talk about gardening. Okay. So wait, we did the karaoke. I'm kind of special for you. We pulled that one special for you because I'm not feeling real. That's why I didn't hug you. I understand. Hug you so hard it would be uncomfortable.
I'd pick you up. I'd toss you in the air.
You would try. I was like, I'm heavier than I look. But that was from Barbie. So I have to say, I was the kid that would put the different heads on different Barbies. Yeah. And I'd use Kool-Aid mix to dye their hair.
Yes, yes.
It was my favorite.
But my sister did, and she had all of her Barbies were mutilated and demented in different ways. And
yeah. It's the best Barbie. Do you get people still walking up to you about that? Because we didn't really have Barbies that look, now they sell it, and we didn't have that when we were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometime a kid walked up to me the other day and was like, "Are you crazy, Barbie?" Crazy. I was like,
please say you responded like that.
Yes.
I love it. How often, I love working in this building. It's so fun. It's just a fun, and I feel like Mary Tyler Moore. Like, I don't know, it's just a cool building to work in. How often do you get back to 30 Rock?
I don't come a lot because I like to wake up really early, it turns out. Oh. And I like to go to bed really early.
Okay.
And so working at SNL was obviously the greatest years of my life, and also was contrary to my natural orientation.
Yes.
And so I really had trouble staying up late enough to be on the show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so, like, before the show, I would, like, put on, like, Justin Bieber and, like, dance around and just to wake myself, just to, like, try to stay up late enough to
Did people catch you doing this backstage?
If they did, they were polite enough not to say. I tried to go in a little corner, but I would be there just, like, dancing. And I eat dinner at 5. I eat dinner at 4:30.
That's really good for you.
Thank you. I know it is good for me, I hope, because that's when I eat dinner. If someone says, like, we're having dinner at 6:30, I'm like, what is this, Europe?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get home at 8.
What? No, I am the girl of our group. I'm like, do not ask me to go to dinner later than 6:30. Because people will go out at like 8 sometimes, and I'm like, that's super fun for you. But no, I'm not that either.
PJs already, and I'm not changing out. Thank you
so where are we going? Can I wear them?
Yes.
No, I found this out about you, and I love this because I have this in common with you, and I even asked for pictures, and I'm very excited. So you've become a farmer. You're a real farmer. Like, you're not one of these people that just comes on and is like, oh, and look, that's a real. Thank you. Look at it.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
This is my love language.
Really?
Not kidding. There's a whole garden in my basement.
What are you doing down there?
I've got I'm trying to grow jasmine. It's I could go many ways with this. But it's daytime. So, but no, I'm growing, we love bell peppers. I'm trying to see what I can grow inside as well, but I also have them outside as well, on like rooftops and stuff. But my God. What are you growing? What's your favorite thing?
Well, oh my gosh, you guys, like corn.
Yeah.
Like, corn, like actual corn.
Shucking corn,
like it's 7 feet high and there's like an ear of corn.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want some corn. I'll go outside.
To my garden.
And then I was like, oh, I want some potatoes. I'll just dig them up. And then I was like, oh my God, I want a watermelon. I'll just pluck it. And look, it wasn't
Doesn't it make you want to be in the kitchen though more? It makes me want to cook more, and I don't like cooking.
You don't like cooking?
Not at all.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I have been an avid cooker.
Yeah?
For a long time.
But it makes me want to cook, though, growing your own stuff, your own produce. Yeah.
There's nothing like just, you know, not going to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the grocery store like once all summer, except for like everything else that I need at the grocery store.
Except I can't grow deodorant, so. Yeah. Well, actually, lemons are good. Anyway, I could go down a whole slew of this. I want to talk to you more about this, but I got to pay people. So let's get to some commercials. We have Lauren ready to help us out.
Hi, Kelly and Kate. I'm so excited to read your book. And I fancy myself a bit of a mad scientist. In fact, I teach AP Bio at an all-girls school, encouraging young women to get into STEM.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for keeping us inspired in fun and original ways. Stay here. Kelly has more with Kate after this.
Welcome back. We've got Kate McKinnon with us, everybody. Her new book is called The Millicent Quibb School of Etiquette for Young Ladies of Mad Science. It's out everywhere and where books are sold. So the idea for this book came to you years ago, right?
Yes, so before I got my job at SNL, I was like, I love middle grade literature. It's called middle grade, you guys. It's like ages 8 to 14. Harry Potter is middle grade. Roald Dahl is middle grade.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, and then no one else knows. So I would tell people, oh, I'm writing a middle grade novel, and they would be like, don't sell yourself short. But I wanted to write a middle grade novel, and I was a weird science girl, and I took apart VCRs, and I had the weirdest animals in my room. I had cockroaches at one point, Madagascar hissing cockroaches, not regular American cockroaches.
You had them as pets?
I had them as pets. It's a long story.
No.
I had salamanders. I had hamsters. They're all dead. They're all dead. Dead by my hand. Maybe, you know, a suburban person shouldn't have a menagerie in their room. Anyway, the point is, I love science. I was obsessed with the natural world, and I started writing about these 3 little weird girls in a town who get taken in by this mad scientist who teaches them about mad science, and chaos ensues. And so I started this like 12 years ago. Yeah. And then I got hired at SNL, waylaid for 10 years, doing whatever. And then, no, I'm kidding, best years of my life. And then the second I left, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do my thing that I've been trying to do for so long. It was my white whale. Yeah. And now my white whale is in my house, and it's cool.
I love that, though. It's such a, I love fantasy. I love any kind of departure from reality, and I love that age, too, of reading those books, but those are fun. They're fun to read. Also, like, I have kids to read them with, but I also just love reading them as adults. Yeah. It's a fun place to go, I think.
Totally. And I was so weird, and I wanted, like, I would have loved a book about just weird little science nerds who are just having weird little science adventures. Yeah. The adult who's a weird scientist who's helping them along and recognizes and sees them for what's special about them. And so I wanted to write that for the young people. Pay it forward, you know?
Yeah. I once again, not weird. Cool. It's just cool. You started, I want to talk about this, though, because you started with a special dedication to your mom. This is amazing. For my Mama Rama, who encouraged me to march to the beat of my own drum, then bought me the drum, drove me to marching lessons, sewed the costume, and cheered the whole time. It's my favorite dedication I've ever read. Your mom sounds badass.
She is such a badass. She's so amazing. She's a social worker, and she just was always like she gave me puberty books when I was young, like real young, and she did a lot of things as a social worker, but she was a sex educator at one point, and she developed this puberty curriculum where she would buy all the girls little tiaras to celebrate their menage and make it something that was amazing and worth celebrating, as opposed to something scary and shameful. And she, when I got my menage, period, y'all. She came to me and she was like, oh, honey, I'm gonna throw you a party. We'll dance under the moon. I'll make you a tampon crown.
Dance under a tampon crown?
Yeah. And she always just encouraged me to be exactly what I was in my weird old self. And
well, she sounds cool.
No, she's the she's the funniest person I've ever met in my life.
Oh man, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. So wait, what did you think you were gonna do maybe if you didn't do comedy? People always ask me if I didn't sing, what would I be doing? And I don't know. Yeah.
Not even a plan B at all.
No, there was no plan B. And I wasn't into like nature as I am now. Like now I would say easily I would be like a farmer. I would just want to live like on a homestead vibe. That's what I do basically in Montana. But no, I had no plan B.
Wow.
My mom was worried. Yeah. Yeah.
I had no plan B either, except for now my plan B is carpentry and gardening and homesteading.
Can you build things too?
I've been doing carpentry.
You are so
pandemic.
hot.
Didn't we all in the pandemic start just doing whatever?
No, I didn't build. No. I wish I would. I didn't make sourdough bread. I didn't do any of that. I was just sad. But, no, that's amazing. You can build stuff too.
Day one of that pandemic, I was like, wood. Where's the plants? Where's the wood? Let's go. Let's go.
I have so many jokes. I'm gonna leave it alone. Oh my God, I just cracked myself up. Kate's book is The Millicent Quibb School of Etiquette for Young Ladies of Mad Science. In honor of the story Kate created, it is time to hear a story from her life. This is Epic Storytime. Epic Storytime. Wait for those notes. How it works is I'll get one question, then Kate will tell us a story with the help of illustrations from the children's book she's holding. I might have some follow-up questions afterwards. So Kate, when you were a kid, did you have any unusual pets?
Well, I think we already established that I did. But the biggest one, both emotionally and physically, was my iguana, Willie, who I had when I was 15. Okay, so that's me, and that's I'm dreaming of an iguana. I didn't have a hairband like that, but it's otherwise accurate. And I loved reptiles, and I wanted an iguana in my own room, which, disclaimer, don't. Iguanas are meant to live in a jungle where they can fly from the trees into the water and not be stared at by suburban cats. Anyway, I went to my mom and I was like, Mom, can I have an iguana? And she was like, how much is it? And I was like, it's $15 at Petland. And she was like, yes. And then cut to a 55-gallon tank, 4 heat lamps, 2 heat rucks, and endless vet bills later. We were in for a penny, in for a pound with that one. So I got my iguana, and we had, right off the bat, we had a very contentious relationship. He didn't want to be living in my suburban bedroom, and I, shortly after that, did not want him living there either. And you may notice that the iguana's genitals are pixelated, and that is because iguanas have 2 penises. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And I didn't know this, but I named my iguana Willie. Learned later he should have been named Willie's. Anyway, so I did my best to make Willie happy. I fed him kale. I fed him, you know, whatever the hell they eat, mealworms. And still, we had a contentious relationship, and he wanted to be let out during the day. So I let him out, and I gave him free reign of my room. And he would watch pay-per-view and rack up quite a bill. And I would also come home, and that is a representation of the urine that I would find on my floor, except that does not do it justice. This was like a 3-foot diameter puddle of viscous iguana urine that I had to clean up every day. No. So anyway, one day, when I prayed that Willie would kind of just disappear, he did. He was gone. He was gone in the home. Oh, I looked everywhere. After 3 weeks, I thought, I'm gonna call it. he's dead, right? And then, and I felt awful, and I felt like a terrible iguana mother, which I was. Again, no iguanas in suburban bedrooms. It's a shanda, and it should not be done. So I was home alone with my sister. My parents were out to dinner, and I heard a scream, blood-curdling scream from above. My sister screaming, "I found Willie!" Willie had crawled into the sleeve of one of her dresses. I know. And was dangling there inside the sleeve of one of her dresses. And she found it. And I was like, oh my God, there's the corpse of an iguana is in my sister's dress. No. Alive. Alive as the day he was born, waiting in the sleeve of a dress for someone to find him. Well, I extricated him from the sleeve of that dress. And to reward me for finding him, he latched onto my finger. I still have the scar. And he was there for an hour. I could not pry this lizard. He was like, you bitch. You took me from Petland, which was a shanda to begin with, kept me in this tank. I'm peeing on your floor. I'm giving you all the signals. I want to go. I want out. I'm waiting in a dress. No, I'm not going to do this anymore. My sister's in the corner. She's going, let go of my sister. I got him off, and that was it. And my mother said, we're calling a reptile rescue organization. And they sent him to Boca. To Boca. And the one question that remains, did he ever get to use both at the same time? I don't know. And now there are snakes under my porch, and they also have two. And
wait, do you really have snakes under your porch?
yes.
Yeah. What kind? Do you know? Like grass snakes or garden snakes?
Oh, no, the cute ones.
Okay.
Fun ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't get away from reptiles, and I don't want to.
No. I don't know that they want to be around you. Kate McKinnon, everybody. A big thank you to Kirsten Kirshner for the illustrations you just saw. Kate's new book is available wherever books are sold. It's called The Millicent Quibb School of Etiquette for Young Ladies of Mad Science, and everyone here is going home with an audio copy of the book. You are welcome.